For thousands of years, the East asked different questions, not what is the truth, but what is the way. I'm Sim, and this is The Eastern Mind, a journey into the philosophies that shaped half the world. I would like to invite you to come walk with me through today's episode. What if I told you that one of the oldest civilizations on Earth, one that has lasted 5,000 years, never created an all-powerful God? Think about that for a moment. Western civilization begins with a single sentence. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Someone pressed the button. Someone set things in motion. But Chinese civilization? It starts with chaos, a formless void. And then, slowly, heaven and earth simply opened. No one pressed the button, no one needed to. That difference, that tiny, almost invisible fork in the road, changed everything. In the West, almost every philosophical question begins with the same puzzle. Who made all of this? From ancient Greece to medieval Europe, from Plato's demiurge to the Christian God, Western thinkers spent 2,000 years trying to answer that question. Who is the architect? What are the blueprints? What is the ultimate truth behind everything we see? But in the East, Chinese thinkers asked a completely different question. Not who created the world, but how does the world work? That shift from who to how sent two great civilizations down entirely different paths. Now, it's not that the Chinese had no beliefs. They did, but what they believed in was fundamentally different. The Chinese believed in Tian, heaven, but this wasn't a bearded man on a throne. Tian was more like an order, a rhythm, a pattern that everything in the universe naturally follows. Flowers bloom in spring, leaves fall in autumn, rivers flow to the sea. None of this needs to be commanded. It simply is. And this way of thinking, this trust in the natural unfolding of things, eventually got a name. They called it the Tao, the way. Here's something fascinating to consider. A civilization's creation myth almost predicts everything that comes after it. The Bible says God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh. Think about what that implies. It means the world has a definite beginning. It has an architect who stands outside of it, and it has a set of rules imposed from above. But the Chinese creation story is completely different. In the beginning, there was only chaos, a cosmic egg. And inside that egg, a being called Pangu slowly grew. When he finally woke, he pushed heaven and earth apart with his body. He held them separate for 18,000 years. And when he died, his breath became the wind. His eyes became the sun and moon. His blood became the rivers. His body became the mountains. Do you see the difference? In the Western story, the creator stands outside his creation, looking in. In the Chinese story, the creator dissolves into the creation itself. He doesn't rule the world, he becomes it. That is a fundamental difference. And it echoes through everything. When you believe in an all-powerful creator, certain questions become inevitable. What is the ultimate truth? Who decides right and wrong? What is the meaning of life? You search for answers, definitive, absolute answers. But when you believe in the Tao, in the way, your mind works differently. You don't ask who is right. You ask what is balanced. You don't chase certainty. You accept that everything is always in motion, always changing, always becoming something else. This is why the heart of Chinese philosophy was never about truth. It was about harmony. And this isn't just ancient history. This way of thinking is alive today, in how East Asian cultures approach conflict, relationships, medicine, art, even business. It's a fundamentally different operating system for the human mind. So, back to where we started. Why did the Chinese never need God? Not because they didn't think about the big questions. They did, deeply, but they arrived at a completely different framework for understanding reality. A framework where there is no creator, only an endless process of becoming. No absolute good or evil, only dynamic balance. No final answers, only the way. And the person who articulated this vision most clearly, in a text of just 5,000 characters, was a quiet librarian named Laozi. That's where we're going next time. Thank you for watching or listening. Time is our only non-renewable resource, and I deeply appreciate you sharing yours with me today. If this brought you a moment of clarity or peace, then the time was well spent. Thank you for being part of this journey. I'll see you in the next one.